Hello, a very good afternoon and welcome to the News International Edition on this 19th day of September 2023. We are coming to you live from our Vision Group headquarters here in Kampala, Uganda. I'm Emma Akwero. Let's start our news today from Zimbabwe, where large numbers of elephants from the country's biggest national park are moving to neighboring Botswana in search for water. The country has seen low rainfall, which is affecting its large elephant population.
Hwange National Park covers an area of more than 14,600 square kilometers and is home to about 50,000 animals. Water bodies have dried up and the animals are in search for water and food. The authorities say buffaloes and all types of animals present in the park are also migrating in scores. The authorities say wildlife migration between Hwange National Park to Botswana is not uncommon. However, this year it has come too early due to climate change. The mass movement of wild animals could lead to an increase in conflict between humans and wildlife as they pass through populated areas in Zimbabwe. It means more animals are going to invade communities, people competing for water with animals. Conflict between humans and wildlife is a significant problem in remote parts of Zimbabwe, caused in part by population growth. Elephants killed at least 60 people last year, according to government figures. Zimbabwe has around 100,000 elephants, the second largest population in the world, and almost double the capacity of its parks. Botswana is home to around 130,000, the world's largest elephant population. The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change has classified Southern Africa as a region at risk, facing increased risks of extreme heat and reduced rainfall due to global warming.
Now, a faction of South Sudan's ruling party walked out of parliament, accusing President Salva Kiir of violating a fragile peace agreement after lawmakers passed a bill paving the way for long-delayed elections. The world's youngest nation has struggled to find its footing since achieving independence from Sudan in 2011, enduring multiple crises, including a 5-year civil war that cost nearly 400,000 lives before a peace deal was signed in 2018.
A unity government between South Sudan President Salva Kiir and his rival and deputy Riek Machar has largely failed to meet key provisions of the peace agreement, including drafting a constitution and electoral legislation ahead of polls now set for next year. On Monday, lawmakers belonging to Machar's wing of the ruling Sudan People's Liberation Movement Party protested the passing of the National Election Act, warning that it would result in an undemocratic and fair and not credible vote. The proposal that the president be given extra powers to appoint additional number of lawmakers takes away the mandate and the sovereignty of South Sudan's people, they said in a press statement. The lawmakers accused Parliament Speaker Gemma Nunu Kumba of pushing a vote through without allowing them fair chance to express their views on this critical matter. Salva Kiir has vowed to hold the country's first ever presidential polls by December 2024, but the UN envoy Nicholas Haysom warned last month that the authorities needed to create a conducive environment to ensure peaceful, inclusive and credible elections. The United Nations has repeatedly criticized South Sudan's leadership for its role in stoking violence, cracking down on political freedoms and plundering public coffers. The government was meant to conclude a transition period with elections in February 2023, but has so far failed to fulfill key terms of the peace deal. One of the poorest countries on the planet, despite large oil reserves, South Sudan has spent almost half of its life as a nation at war and continues to be roiled by outbreaks of politically motivated ethnic violence.
And life service. This is in preservation of our wildlife.
It's to safeguard the national interests and true.
Now, China's porcelain capital, Jingdezhen, is attracting droves of young people drawn to the city of artisans in search of an escape from the urban rat race amongst its ceramics workshops. Young professionals are seeking to learn an Asian art that has been taught for more than 1,000 years.
The times are tough for young people in China, with youth unemployment at record highs, sluggish economic growth, and for many, the opportunities their parents' generation enjoyed are simply not attainable. But in Jingdezhen, they find something different: low rent, a slower pace of life, and a proximity to nature in a city of just 1.6 million inhabitants, very small by Chinese standards. From her one-bedroom apartment on the 7th floor, He Yun, a 28-year-old illustrator, enjoys a panoramic view of the surrounding green hills for just 500 yuan. For just 500 yuan, which is $68 a month.
比较没有压力耶，因为就是在这里的话，有一些朋友。
I arrived in Jingdezhen in June after being laid off and found a place where I didn't feel any pressure. I came because on social media, everyone was saying that it was a great place for craft fans like me and that there was a sense of freedom. When I lost my job, I stayed at home and got depressed. But once I arrived here, I found that it's super easy to make friends. No more need to set the alarm in the morning. I have zero pressure now. A typical day for Hay starts with a laid-back breakfast before heading to a workshop to make her ceramic candle holders and necklaces, which are then fired in one of the city's main kilns.
我们还可以在这个地方苟且的自由个1-2年。
At the end of the afternoon, we go to the surrounding villages and swim in the streams to relax. I put my work on a Chinese app similar to Instagram, where people contact me to buy. But we mainly sell at the market. Between trendy cafes, boutiques, and stands offer glasses, bowls, cups, teapots, plates, necklaces, or earrings.
会有，比如说我们有空的时候，我们会经常约在一起。
I am looking for meaning in life. Many young people today no longer want to clock in at work at a fixed time. China's transformative economic rise was built on the backs of a growing middle class who were promised they could enjoy the trappings of prosperity and give their children a better life if they worked hard enough. But the country's millennials and Gen Z have faced altogether different prospects. Youth unemployment has reached a record level exceeding 20% according to official figures, and pay is low. It is that context that the Tangping counterculture has thrived, literally meaning lying flat. It came to represent a general rejection of society's expectations, giving up a great career and money to concentrate on a simple life and pleasures. And Jingdezhen has become a haven for those seeking just that. At the Dashu Pottery School, around 20 students work with clay on their pottery heels or chat as they sip iced lattes. Training costs $617 a month.
失业率那个很高嘛，这是一个大趋势。很多年轻人他
Many young people cannot find work. They come here to reduce their anxiety. Ceramics are very accessible. In 2 weeks, they can produce simple works and sell them at markets. I resigned my job in March as a computer programmer after working overtime for years. I wanted to take a breather. In big cities, you just work. You don't have enough life. I do not think I will ever accept to do a job like that again. According to Chinese media, 30,000 young urbanites lived in Jingzhen in 2022.
Now, billionaire Elon Musk has sparked outrage from fans of his social media platform X, formerly known as Twitter. Musk suggested that he might introduce a monthly fee for all users in what would be the biggest shakeup since he took over the site, then known as Twitter, last October.
During a talk with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on Monday, Musk said introducing a small monthly payment for X, formerly known as Twitter, would combat the armies of bots on the site. Musk bought Twitter for $44 billion, but has since admitted its value has plunged after he gutted its workforce and allowed right-wing conspiracy theorists back on the site, sending advertisers fleeing. X-users united in dismay at his latest plan, suggesting it could finally put an end to the site, and analysts questioned the logic of a move that would make the platform even less appealing to advertisers. Musk said in July the platform had lost roughly half its advertising revenue, although he has also claimed that almost all advertisers had returned. Bots, accounts run by computer programs rather than humans, are common on X, where they can be used to amplify political messages or racial hatred. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu asked Musk about anti-Semitism and how X could prevent the use of bots, armies of bots, to replicate and amplify it. Musk replied that the company was moving to having a small monthly payment for use of the X system. His move to make users pay sparked thousands of critical messages, with many saying universal charging for the service would decimate the user base and therefore destroy the value in the network and the reason to take part in the platform.
Now, the 2023 World's Ugliest Dog Contest, intended to promote dogs that have lower adoption rates. The contest was held at the Sonoma Marine Fair, and the first place prize was awarded to Scooter, a hairless 7-year-old Chinese crested dog. Let's take a look at this.
Oh, I love you, Scooter. Scooter's got a fan club. Oh my God. Oh, Scooter, baby. Oh,
he is so warm. Look at that mohawk. I mean, I gotta say, when you see him, you don't want to touch him, but then when you touch him, you don't want to stop. He's so cute. Oh, I'm sorry, I said the C word. I know that's a bad word. Gotta do the U word.
Wild Thing. Scooter. Harold Bartholomew.
The world's ugliest dog is Scooter. Congratulations. How do you feel, Scooter?
Can you look this way, please? Thank you. He just goes to sleep.
Like that?
Yeah. Wow. Oh, upside down. That's so cute. His most special thing is walking, but... Okay, ready?
Right, and so the breeder, I don't think it was a breeder.
Good boy. Good boy.
You know, there's...
Go. There we go, I got it.
Oh, yeah?
All right.
Yeah, she's very fun.
He's such a cutie.
Yeah. I'm going to come on, girl, right now. I love this. Ginny?
Just early, or like a couple more. I have a senior participant.
This will be your treat.
But hold out that sign so we can see him. There's one there for Harry, there's one for Grizzly. Oh, who's that back there? So ladies and gentlemen, what's happening now is the judges are in the back there talking amongst themselves. We have 4 awards that we're going to give out, a Spirit Award, and then those trophies found in a wooden box up in the mountains in 8-degree weather. Likely destined for a not too nice ending, we adopted Jenny Lou from the Pug Rescue. Under the chairs, she uses her stealth skills and puts that amazing tongue to work as she sneaks into everybody's food bowl.
Is that, you know, every dog, even if they're not the most beautiful dog in the world, is beautiful. And if you come away from this contest with anything, you'll come away with the knowledge that every single one of them is gorgeous. Well, I think he's pretty ugly. Actually, I think he's beautiful, but so Scooter was born with his legs on backwards, as you can see. So he's an amazing dog. He walks on his front legs all the time and uses his back legs for a tripod sometimes. And
the reason why his tongue sticks out is because as a puppy, we rescued another dog that had distemper, and he was so young, he only had his first set of shots. So he contracted the distemper, and it caused him not to grow his teeth.
You know what? I think there's some people who might have him beat, some dogs who might have him beat, but I think he's got a good chance at least to get maybe 3rd place. So I think he can do it.
So I want Wild Thing to win because he's like, I love how crazy his hair is, and he seems like a super sweet dog.
Well, congratulations to Scooter right there. And finally, from Paris, thieves made off with more than 50 items from the French luxury fashion brand Balmain's new collection. The robbery took place just 10 days before the Paris Fashion Week.
Fashion company Balmain's creative director Olivier Rousteing announced on Instagram that the company's driver was attacked by a group of people who made off with more than 50 items, all stolen. The driver was transporting the merchandise in a truck that was headed from the airport to the Balmain headquarters when the theft occurred, according to Rousteing. Mixing hip-hop and embracing diversity, Rousteing has shaken up the industry, democratizing the world of luxury fashion and making it more relatable to young people. He is known for pushing the brand into new territory, working with celebrities such as Kim Kardashian and frequenting red carpets including the Cannes Film Festival. The show by Balmain, bought in 2018 by Qatari investment fund Mayhula, is scheduled for the Women's Ready-to-Wear Fashion Week in the French capital on the 27th of September.
pretty there indeed. And that's all the international news we had for you this afternoon. We'll be back again tomorrow at 4 p.m. Thank you for watching. Have a good afternoon.